plans and groups gathering. And Lord, we just ask for your guidance and your wisdom and all the good things that you can bring to this, that you would bless this city with us. We thank you for the leadership. We thank you for their listening ears tonight. Give them wisdom to make wise decisions about it. Lord, we're mindful of those who work at the city and who do all the things that make our citizens content and happy and wanting to be here. And Lord, we ask that you bless all the leadership of that group and those who work every day. Lord, we're just so grateful for what they do. Bless our time together. Help us to enjoy freedom and free speech and all of those wonders that you've given us, and protect us, Lord. In Jesus' name.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and start off with roll call. Full council is in attendance tonight. Great, you guys always are. And we're going to start off with doing something a little different. We have brought on a city administrator, and we, as we are going along, are figuring things out and how we incorporate Joe into his role. And so what we've decided is we're going to go ahead and Joe is going to kind of lead the meeting and take us from agenda item to agenda item. And this may be a little bit of a trial and error. Bear with us as we make our way towards making our procedures more effective, more streamlined. And so without any further ado, Joe, I'm going to finish up with roll call. And if you'd like to take over from there, and we'll just go ahead and make it work.
That's good.
Okay.
The first thing we have on the agenda tonight is a presentation by Principal Lindsay Allen, of Walnut Grove High School.
Good afternoon.
How are you? Did y'all tell Joe that our student responsibility is to be the substitute principal every now and then too? I appreciate you coming to the our school council. Thank you very much. You as well, Mayor Mockridge. I'm here today. She said I had an hour, but I've been told to get back to 10 minutes. So I'm going to actually put it up here. Ms. Gibson back there who keeps me straight so they can get me if I go over. So just to let you know. But there's a lot to celebrate. There's a lot to be grateful for when you look across over there and the great school that we have and all the great things that are going on. So I hope to share a little bit with you tonight. Literally, this started off with, I don't know what happened here when we started with that one.
Can you, oh, it's not very.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll go. Everybody look away, 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 look away. My time has not started yet, by the way. Look away, look away. There we go, there we go. But there's a lot of great things going on over there. We have a great staff, we have a lot of great students and a great community. You guys are a big part of it. I appreciate you guys coming over today to celebrate our teachers and Teacher Appreciation Day. But I just want to give you just an update on some of the great things. It's been a banner year for us. We have had a lot of firsts, and we've only been in existence, and we're still pretty young. You say 15 years, that's a long time. It's actually not. When you compare it to Monroe area and Loganville, we're still pretty much new. We're still trying to get our footprint into Walton County. So there's a lot of good things. First of all, I want to show you this picture here. That looks like from another time, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. That's actually, if you're coming up Emmett Steel one morning, I stopped. And you can see the statue, and that was what it looked like. And I was like, you know what, that's a beautiful picture. So, but those are the views we get on top of that hill up there a lot of times. So, but again, thanks again for letting me come out today. First of all, I think it's important, and I say this all the time, that if you're a leader of an organization, you need to have a vision. My vision started 5 years ago. It was because I met with 100 people when I first got here. This is what they said they wanted from the students. They said, this is what things we want. So it starts off with this. It's one statement, but it's 3 parts. And so the first part is for all students to have meaningful school experience. That means it looks different for each kid because every kid is unique. They have different gifts and talents. And so it's not a single one. And so we will work really hard to give them unique experiences. The next one is we want to graduate on time. That's 4 years. That means no victory loans. All right. And we work really hard to get those in. We'll talk about our graduation rate, which we had the highest graduation rate ever this past year. And then we want them to leave enrolled, and that right behind there is enlisted or employed. And the reason we say that is because so many students graduate and they don't know what to do on the other side of the handshake. And so we tell them you have to understand high school and graduation is just a mile marker. You're going to spend the next 60 years somewhere else in a job, in retirement, and those things are many times are dictated these next 4 years. So we talk to parents, enrolled, enlisted, or employed, because the opposite is not good. So that's my vision. And it's been, it's our distillery when we make decisions and how we do things. So what's happening at the Grove? You can't see it over here. Can I put this? Yeah, I can. Okay, good deal. We are larger than we've ever been. We're at 1483. We actually were about 15 and a half, but over the year, we tend to lose some end up at other places. They move, they can go to Foothills. We have students who go take advantage of dual achievement program through the technical college system of Georgia. But that's larger than we've ever been. And right next year, we're projected to be again about 1560, somewhere around there. And then I show you Monroe and Loganville because they are bigger too. As you heard this today, the high schools are growing. That's about it. The elementary schools aren't growing quite as much because it's really hard to live here if you're a young couple. But the middle schools, but most of the high schools, we continue to grow. The school was built. Am I right, Mr. Gibson? 1500. Yeah, Mr. Gibson, obviously the board chairman's here, representing Walnut Grove, and so we're almost at capacity. This is to tell you kind of how we are. But part of that is because of what you're doing. People want to live here, and so I appreciate that as well. So that's our enrollment currently. Safety and security, you hear that a lot. And it is a big deal. And I want to say thank you to our Board of Education who approved this strategic system. And I don't have it on me tonight, but it's a badge that every employee has that can quickly get assistance if they need it. It's one that it can happen internally. If it's an 8-button push, it shuts the whole school down. I mean, it's a big deal. And it's connected with our sheriff's department. We have the best around. The state of the Walnut County Sheriff's Department is unbelievable. Connect with that, and you can actually see them here. We also asked them to do some things for us. But one of the things they're doing is Sheriff Brooks called me in like it was January, December, said, "What do you think about me moving on your campus?" I said, "Can you please?" And so Walton County, with them removing the Sheriff's Department annex over here, they are moving on our campus. We're going to put up it was a single wide, now since it's going to be a double wide in the parking lot, which is great. And we're very thankful that Sheriff Brooks wants to connect with us like that. So that's coming up. And I didn't do that either, did I? Am I doing all this?
No,
Okay,
sorry.
That's all right. All right, here we go. Yeah. We got new signs, and that sounds like it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. When GMA came through, they said, hey, one of the things that you need to fix is we need to know where to go. So the district office worked with us, and that's about $16,000 worth of signs that you've seen put up. They're also nice signs. They have a branding on it. But hey, you can actually know which entrance to go and where to go in Walnut Grove. So very thankful for that. We're getting ready. I was just telling Mr. Butcher, if it doesn't go well over there, he can rent our auditorium again. Thankful to our board. They're about to put in $1.5 million investment into a refresh in our auditorium, which is, has a heavy refresh, at least about 2059. So really thankful about that. It's going to start this summer. It's actually already started some of the minor parts of it, and then it's going to finish up by October. In the branding, if you know anything about me, I want everybody to know where we are, and that's one of the things I was principal of Beaver High School, came over here, I didn't know where I was. I made sure we're going to know where we are. And I'm proud of our school and I'm proud of our logo. And you know what's funny? It makes a difference to our kids. It makes a difference when people come up, even though they don't funny, but man, we have no idea so nice back here. I said, well, we worked really hard to get there. But I'm very thankful for, again, our board and a lot of our community supporters helping us get these things done. Construction pathway has been a big hit, guys. I'm going to tell you, it's one of the #1 job opportunities. Again, we're going back to enrolled, enlisted, or employed. And if you look at what research says, half the kids don't go to college. And many of them never get any kind of other post-secondary education. So we've got to get them before they leave. So a lot of our kids are going through these different pathways and they're leaving with credentials that matter. I was talking to somebody recently said, hey, you did a pathway assessment. It's actually a chamber of papers. I have no idea. I said, exactly. We are focused on the things that matter when we leave. So I'll talk a little bit about that in just a second, but that is awesome. I know some of you come there and see it. I mean, things he's doing, they built me a chicken coop just recently. It's fantastic. So yeah. And that partnership with Home Depot, they're always calling us, hey, come get all this wood. I mean, it's just unbelievable partnerships he's getting. Okay, celebrations. This is one right here. This is the highest we've ever had, 95.27. And if you look at over the past 4 years, We've been above 90, and 3 of the 4 were the highest we'd ever had. Now, don't hold me to trying to beat that one. That was tough. That was a tough one, but, we're shooting for it. I'm proud of our folks, proud of our kids and the work they're doing to get kids, again, not only across the stage, but where they go after across the stage. Our CCR guide. So another thing is, this is a big one. You want to talk about what really matters in a school is how many stars they have. This is determined by surveys from parents, students, teachers. It's also our discipline data. And we are a 5-star. That's the highest you can get in the state of Georgia. First time ever. And I don't know if the other schools have it or not, but we do. We're considered a distinguished 5-star school when it comes to culture and climate. Again, hey, how you doing? I don't know what I'm doing now. I apologize. This is another big one. When I walked in the door in April of 2020, Dr. Frank gave me 5 things he wanted me to fix. One of them was AP. And you guys can speak to this, and both your kids have come through. So our kids were not really able to compete with a lot of kids who want to go to Tech, Georgia, the University of Georgia, because the average student who goes to Georgia freshman gets 14 AP courses on their transcript. When I got there, we had 5 courses. Now we have 17. And as a result of that, you can only get 8 recognitions from the state of Georgia. We got 5 of the 8. 2 we're not even eligible for because we don't have those demographics. So really we get 6 out of 5. And I'm very proud of that. I mean, we more than doubled the number of kids who are taking these courses and getting 3s and 4s, so it gets on their transcript. And it allows them, we had more students last year to go to Georgia Tech than ever. And it's because now they can compete with students around the world who want to go to those schools too. And so, again, that's one of those things, again, Golden Lister important. So that was one of the things we fixed. So, we're also a distinguished PBI high school, the only high school in Walton County that's ever gotten the distinction. That means our referrals and how we're handling students is really, really low, put that way. And it's really proud of the people who run this program to ensure that, and I'm already close to the end, I apologize. So, but I'm really proud of our team who's worked really hard the past 5 years to get us to this place. So to get that distinction is the highest you can get from state of Georgia. The next one's this one, the Math Literal Award. We just received this, and that's for our growth. They started that this year, and so this is April Alders, the Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning from the state of Georgia. She came out and gave us the award along with some of the other schools in our district. Actually, 7 of 15 in our district received this award. So we were one of those. All 3 high schools got it, which was really cool. So we were proud of that. And this is Ms. Finger, our Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, Mr. Underwood, our Superintendent. So you can see the 7 schools there. I'm hoping to see another Walnut Grove cluster school there next year. So we also, for the first time ever, had the county star student of the year. This is Sammy. Now, guess how old Sammy is?
14.
He's 14 years old. Yeah, that's right. Good job. You read the paper. Yeah, he's 14 years old. Yes, ma'am. 14 years old. Proud of him. He did a great job. He represented us in the region, but he's our first. And he had a very impressive SAT score. I think it was 1530. So yeah, I think I was the third of that. So anyway, so Sammy's impressive. He's applied to a lot of big schools. Can't get in them because they won't take him his A's. They'll do their delaying the tech. Believe it or not, they'll say we need him delayed. So he's going to a school that will take him at 15, which is in Virginia. I don't know how his mom's going to have that, but he's going. But his ultimate goal is at Georgia Tech. TSA, this is our engineering program. They finished 2nd in the state this year. Dr. Wheeler's right here. Again, these are things that have improved over time. The right leader in the right spot, being a kid excited about growing and learning. So proud of our TSA. Again, more awards for TSA. And actually last year we had our first national champion, and it was through TSA. So again, Dr. Wheeler, his students are doing a great job. This is what I'm talking about, Rolling Lister employee. And you're like, OSHA certification? Name another high school that gets their kids OSHA certifications. And if you're in construction, you're automatically going to move there up a tier if they walk in with an OSHA credential, because that saves them money right off the bat. So we know that. We also have these students right here. All are CNA certified, so they can go out and get a job if they want to, or continue in their if they want to go in the medical field, what they want to do. What's even more cool about this, we had 3 dudes go through this program. It typically is a lot of female centric, but we had gentlemen who want to go through that, and we're really proud of them as well. But those are the things we're talking about. They're leading with things that matter, so they can go out and be enrolled in this employee. FFA, a whole bunch of state champions just recently. I'm not going to go through all of them. Really proud of Michelle and the work she does with those students. But you see state champion, state champion, state champion, state champion, right around. So again, proud of that, of those students, because agriculture, again, is a big job market for those students. DECA, we just started marketing last year, and so we actually had our first DECA competition, and we actually have students going to state. Very proud of Chase. And this is Miss Milligan. She's 22 years old. Guy from Chick-fil-A, believe it or not. And they try to create a job for her to keep her to stay, and I was able to get her to come on, and she's done a great job. They're on track with their school store this year to earn about $70,000 in revenue. Just now they're going to clear about 35, which but that's a big deal. They're doing a great job. Athletic celebration, Special Olympics. We have a great specialism program, and as the county, that's one of ours right here. That's Geo right there having a good time. I'm really proud of our Special Olympics and what the county does to support and to celebrate these students. Our volleyball, again, they have just kicked tail, I'll just say it that way. And so is our softball, and really proud of them and how they performed this fall. Cross country, same thing. They had some of the best finishes they've ever had, and they're young still. So there's a good chance they're going to be moving further next couple of years. Flag football. I'm so sorry. Sweet 16, 5 years in a row. This is one of the more impressive ones. That happened quick, and man, it is just taking. He probably could field 3 teams. We have a lot of girls who play flag football. Cheerleading competition. We had our highest ever. We finished 7th in the state. It's the highest it's ever been. Every year they've gotten a little bit closer. So really proud of Coach Brown and the young ladies there. Band, Miss Merck. I love this trophy because it's bigger than Miss Merck and her assistant. Tons of just superiors, first place. Again, she is. Rose was our band that got here, and Merck is coming to taking us to the middle. Very proud of her. Game day cheer finished 3rd in the state. We just started that program, and so they finished 3rd. Yes, right off the bat. So really proud of them in that. Wrestling continues to be one of our perennial winners. They just, they had kind of a down year this year, even though they did really well. But they have a lot of young talent, and Coach Vanstone continues to develop those. Soccer, you probably saw that in the paper. I mean, they went a long ways, and I'm so proud of both programs. Work that they're doing, and girls end up in Elite 8. I lost a heartbreaker, and boys did too here. And we included for the first time multiple home matches for playoffs. So really proud of the programs. Baseball made it to Sweet 16, beat the #1 seed, which was a big deal, and then they ran into a buzzsaw the next one, which was unfortunately another private school, which was Marist. But they've done a good job. Coach Allen had his 100th win. He's probably 108 by now. The new school board, thankful to our community partners for putting that up. That's really a big win for us. It looks fantastic. Golf team, nothing better than being the Walnut County champions. And then you got Jackson Herrick, who's right here. That's Miss Herrick's son, who's the assistant principal over at the elementary school. He's going to state graduation day. I think he's not graduating, but he has a really good chance, y'all, of being a state winner. He is that good, so it's impressive. Our girls have done a great job as well. A runner-up and continue to improve. Track, back-to-back region champions, first time ever. Actually, tomorrow we have a ton of kids going to state. Which is going to be fun tomorrow between POC testing, AP testing, and senior walk, and all this going on too. But one of the other things we started to was pole vault, and that has just taken off. This is really impressive. So again, proud of our track program. Oh gosh.
She's not even looking at you.
Yeah, she's not even
looking at you.
Yeah. So there you go. And so, while that's awesome, it is a school and student and staff league, and it should be for this community as well. I'll be going this summer to represent Georgia at the national convention in Seattle. We'll see where that lands. So, very thankful.
Where we vote to get you in.
Yeah, well, it's a tough competition. You got 50 states, and we'll see how it goes from there. But again, I'm just thankful for our staff and our students because they don't perform. So it sounds individual, but it's so. Thank you for supporting Walnut Grove High School. I'll take any questions that you have. Sorry.
One question,
Yes, ma'am.
because I have no kids in school, I don't keep up with everything.
Yes, ma'am.
What is DECA?
So DECA is a marketing program, and so it's about teaching kids entrepreneurship. And so that's what it's about, just to make it kind of for the point.
And if you run a school store.
Yeah, they run a school store, so they literally have a storefront. And so they have to, they have to buy the inventory, they have to, keep up with the inventory, they sell the inventory, credit cards, cash, and, yes, we have cameras in there. But I mean, it is a full-on store in the school. Last year, Emily, who's now assistant principal, made about 30,000 in about 4 months. And this year, we've done the full year, and with a million, we're gonna make it about 70 grand. Yeah, now I'm saying that's how much they made, how much they cleared up, or cleared up. So which helped us because we were
If
able.
they're profitable, that's true.
Yeah, and that money is turned right back into the students and the kids, because last year we didn't have enough to meet all the needs our teachers wanted. So marketing stepped in with their money, and they were able to fund that and do the same thing next year. So our teachers were able to get some of the wish list that they weren't able to get before. So, yeah. So, what else?
I think you're doing a great job. And I think Shay's doing a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, so who runs the school? I said, Shay. And she just tells me what to do. So.
Thank you again for coming, and everybody's been invited to the graduation ceremony.
Yeah.
Everybody's RSVP.
Yeah,
So we will
it'll be a hot one. Y'all come on.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank y'all. Thank y'all for what you do. I
Great work,
appreciate it.
you
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Thank y'all. So get this back to you.
Thank
Thank y'all very much.
Congratulations on all your successes.
When you're level, Joe, I'll call you. Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Allen, for that. And next we move on to agenda approval.
Is there a motion for actually, I need to take off one thing. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the proclamation for Walnut County Safety Month. That was delivered to us at the end of the month, past the actual date of his celebration, which is April. We've spoken to him, and he agreed to the position, and he will be making sure it gets out to everybody in advance of the month next year. Sounds like we're going to, but, so I took that off because it is past the deadline date. He came 3 days before the release. So that is off. And then under new business, number 3, presentation, Aaron Montley, LNCO. It's going to be a paving update and review. Just so you all know. Okay? And then that is it. There's a few changes I'm submitting at this point. So with those in mind, is the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda with removing new business item number 2, proclamation for Walnut County Safety Month. I assume changing the other number to 2, 3, and 4. And a quarter.
And is there a second?
A second.
During discussion. All in favor of approving the agenda with those changes, please raise your hand. Yes. We go on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
For a second? Oh, I guess. Is there any discussion? Okay. All in favor of approving the consent agenda, please raise your hand. Yes. Thank you. Miss Linda, I expected at least a woo-hoo.
Well, I'm very appreciative.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see all the money's on the right side
Yeah, it is. It is.
and not having to wonder what if or
Yeah.
how come. I'm very appreciative.
Well, thank you. We're gonna go ahead and move on to committee reports. Sorry, Joe, taking over. Go ahead.
No report from the DDA today. Thank you.
All right, next we have the planning and zoning commission. Mr. Moore.
Good evening, everyone. Good to see you all. I just have to remember that every time I hear Joe, they don't talk about me. You too, but it's wonderful to have someone else to help celebrate all the good stuff going on here. I sent a zoning administrative report in just to give you all an idea of what is going on in, with development activities. We currently have one active case, which I will be voting on in a little bit, which is the variance on the Church of the Grove. We have 3 site plans currently under review, 2 of which you will be voting on later on this meeting for Stonehaven subdivision and Stonehaven's amenity area. And Mike's Tire Depot, we have issued comments on that and have waiting on, they were lacking some hydrology information was the biggest thing. We still list 4 sites under construction. The one that's probably most noticeable is the Walnut Grove Commercial Office LDP project over here off the Parkway. Some of these other ones may probably have gone into dormant status, but the cabinet shop, and then the 1261 Industrial Parkway, we can follow up with Alexis and see if those have, I haven't heard of any activity. And I also mentioned just 3 other projects going on. The Grove Park, construction on that is rock and rolling along. And Vision Walnut Grove, my understanding, I've completed the visioning process, and I guess you're waiting on final recommendations.
The next work session.
For business.
Probably come.
And then just for y'all's benefit, we held a pre-construction conference on 4/17 for the Walnut Grove Phase 2 upgrade to the land application system. The notice to proceed was issued that day, and I delivered some updated plans to Joe together with a reminder about the Hard River Creek River Cut from that up here, just so get on your calendars. So that project, we'll be reviewing submittals on that. And then Brian, the mayor, and Joe and I met on the 24th to kind of talk about some aspects of the project. So we anticipate that getting started as soon as submittals get approved. And that's just making sure everything they submit for equipment and processes meets the specifications. So that's what that's going on. And then I moved a couple of things to inactive projects. I haven't heard anything on these 3, the maximum credit, elevation truck sales, that's the, on Guthrie Cemetery. They still owe us a bunch of information, and we've contacted them and haven't heard back. And then Enclave PUD Commercial Phase 4, I haven't heard anything from Mr. Coleman on that. So that is my report unless there are questions. I did want to point out that I am wearing Walnut Grove green, but it's also Georgia College green. My oldest boy is, if he survives tonight, is graduating Saturday with his bachelor's in geography from Georgia College in Milledgeville. So
Great.
we'll be proud parents. So he just has to get through tonight. I think he's still trying to get stuff submitted. So those of you with college-age children have been through there, but it's a big accomplishment. So. And then I'm available for questions on the other sort of zoning matters later. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. I want to let everybody, council know, and people who are listening, the anticipated completion date of the LAS expansion is July 11th, 25. 2011, 26, sorry, 26.
And part of the reason for that. Well, yes, it's amazing, but part of that is because part of the project is we're doing new spray fields. And we have to make sure there's adequate time to get those established before we say everything's great. Because if this grass isn't working, then the contractor needs to come back in and make corrective actions. But once they get started on the grading and the package plant, there'll be a whole lot of activity going on. It'll be very interesting. We're excited. I know Brian's excited. He really enjoyed the meeting. We're talking all the details of the project. So
Trying to make sure Brian is learning about the sewer plant, not just knowing how to operate it, but why he's doing what he's doing and what the new expansion coming in will look like and what it will do and the added responsibilities for him in his role.
All right.
Of course.
On number 3 on your memorandum, where you were talking about that active recent land disturbance permits, you said you were going to check with Alexis. Is that for all of these or just?
well, I've had these on there and I don't always get reports about
Right. What's going on?
what's going on. I mean, if y'all are getting the information, then good.
I don't have any.
Because I know she turns in regular reports about compliance with the erosion control ordinance.
Right.
I just don't, and that's okay. But I want to try to be as forthcoming as possible about things that I know that are going on.
Okay.
It's all good. It's just,
Yeah.
if they're not, we'll move to the dormant.
Perfect. Let me go ahead and give you just a brief on 2C, Mike's Tire Depot.
Yeah.
It is our concern that they're going to be running out of the 6-month period, so
Right.
Joe and I are going to be reaching out to them. That'll be on the next work session. If you look down to the Walnut Grove Gas Station LDP, there is a stop work order on that because of stormwater drainage issue there. Destiny Cabinet Shop, we're waiting on drawings from them, and they've also been asked to clean up their property. 1261 Industrial Parkway, let me think, Industrial Parkway. Which one
That's
is it?
up on the hill that had the driveway issues,
Yeah.
where they were doing a lot more than their
Yeah.
drawing showed.
Our code enforcement officer is working with them. They are one of the last businesses to get everything straightened out and some garbage and some issues cleaned up. Walnut Grove Commercial Office LDP is the project underway. So that is in it in a nutshell. Thank you. You're welcome. Any other questions, guys? No? Okay. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. I will make a note to call you head up the publishing this so I can have information. So thank
Or I can
you.
just go ahead and send you those reports so you're in the loop.
Either way, I just want to make sure we're timely on those.
So next we have library report by Ms. Seeger.
Thank you. It's great to be here tonight. There's so many wonderful and exciting things happening in Walnut Grove. It's fun to be a part of it all. Speaking of which, it was wonderful to go to Walnut Grove Elementary School for their K-2 STEM Career Day. That was wonderful. Gave out books to almost every student that was there that day. Probably about at least 250 to 300 books to 375 students. So that was a lot of fun. I included in your packet tonight the winners of our haiku poetry contest since April was National Poetry Month. I just wanted to share the winners with you. They all got prizes, gift cards that they selected. That was really fun, and we'll definitely do that every year. I included your May and June calendars along with the summer reading lineup that we have planned. This will be our busiest and biggest summer ever. So I'm really excited about all of our events and performers. The flamenco dancer will be new. Jennifer Daniels performing the summer concert. That will be a new performer. We have our regulars, Michelle's Magical Poodle Show coming. Jason and the Reptile Show will be back. Iron P Zoo will be back with their critters. What else do we have? Oh, and summer reading kickoff will be Friday, May 23rd. So every person that signs up for summer reading between 11 and 1 that day will get a free book. And again, summer reading is for infants all the way up to elderly. So anybody can sign up for summer reading, and everybody gets prizes for reading books all summer long. I am hiring for a couple of positions, hoping to do interviews soon. I have to coordinate those with regional, and they've been really, really busy. So hopefully we'll get fully staffed shortly around the beginning of summer. But we've been doing great. I don't feel stressed at all about the library. I wish I could say the same about moving. So does anybody have any questions for me?
Stress, this looks like a lot.
It is a lot, but all of these performers are so good. I received every single person's invoice already, except for the petting zoo, which is the very last one coming up in July. So everything's planned, everything's good to go. I have a great staff, I have a great team. You all know that. So they make my job better and a little bit easier. So I'm very grateful.
Isn't there a food drive? coming
Yes,
up
so this Saturday, yeah, tomorrow we have Children's Music and Movement, which is a huge hit at the library, but also Saturday is it's Stamp Out Hunger Day. So for that, we are gonna do, fill our pantry food drive on Saturday from 10 till 2. And the Friends of the Library will be kind of partnering and helping us with that.
So it's Saturday, 10 to 2.
Yes, Saturday and the 2. And the library's only open from 10 to 2 on Saturday. And sometimes you might see on a Saturday morning, Publix sometimes donates food to our pantry. So on a Saturday morning before we get there, sometimes you might see some boxes But that's fine. I'm okay if the patrons just come and take those boxes before we open, because it all needs to go back out to the community anyway. But I just want to make you aware of that in case you see boxes on Saturday morning, they drop them off, and sometimes they get there right before we open.
Thank you.
Yeah, our partners are the best, so I appreciate all their help.
They're on our agenda a little bit later.
Oh, glad to hear that. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Have a great summer.
Thank you.
So next we'll open the floor for public comment. For public comment, you'll have 5 minutes to address city council. If you just don't mind stating your name and address for the record as it come up. Is anybody here for public comment? Now we'll move on to old business. We have a presentation today by Aaron Watley.
Good to see you here. Thank you, Mayor and Council. Anybody else have good stuff to say? I've got bad stuff to say. As you know, the Magnolia Drive culvert was replaced last month.
Yeah.
It was needed. It's been needed for a very long time. And all that time has been needed. It's been leaking and saturated the soil. I'll be quick. And the pipe couldn't be laid back on that soil. It was so saturated. Generally, we expect to replace 6 to 12 inches below the pipe with stone. We have that in the project. They had to dig out like 2.5 feet to get down to something firm, and then put stone back in, put the pipe back on it. And all that stuff they took out was soup, and it could, we've got some pictures in here. They're not great. I left you all the stack of paper, but there's one that has a letter from me, and in the back, there's some pictures. They're not great, but you can see the standing water. The first picture is water around the head wall they placed, and it all kind of looked like that. So there's just groundwater everywhere. Dig down about 2 feet, and it was started running out. It's just been impounded over the years. It couldn't get out. Pipe was mostly full, and the only reason it wasn't flooding too much was that it was just all running in the ground. It's been sitting there a long time. So they had to deal with all that. One of those things you don't know what's down there until you open the ground up. Once you've done that, you have to finish. So we had a good contractor. Peach State Construction, they came and said, look, this is going to be big. We don't want to bankrupt the city. Let's just sit down and see what this would take. They were willing to break even on the project, make sure that y'all didn't have a huge additional cost. So I really applaud them for being willing to do that. They originally had budgeted a proposed contract of $999,886, I think. Can't pull that page up. Yes, $99,886 was their original budget. And when it's all said and done, their final cost is $165,767. That's an additional cost to Peach State Construction, $65,881. In addition, we had an additional spigot pipe we had to get out there just to go spin things out a little further into the trees. And we did have a contingency on the project. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. We don't plan for these kind of things. This is not normal at all. And overall, the budget, we overran the budget by $49,837.19.
It's a lot better than what you had anticipated.
Well,
Thank you.
it's like dang high. And honestly, I've run numbers on it, and it could have been $100,000 or more. And they were willing to sit down and just work it out. I went through the numbers with their engineer on staff and their owner, and it said, look, we want to get out of the project, get out of here, and leave a good taste. We don't want to harm the city. Because nobody knew what was down there.
They wanted to get out of the project the weekend.
They wanted to get out of the project. They planned 3 days, 5 5 in a worst case, and they were there for 3 weeks, so. And some of that was equipment breakdowns and things that happened that so unexpected, but that's not our cost, that's theirs. But they were really good to work with. It was just a mess, but it looks good now. So I don't have pictures of the final in here. I looked at it. It looks great.
I've been by it.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. They did a really great job. And Aaron, you always had somebody on site. Keep an eye on the project, which we really
Yeah,
appreciate.
for the most part, I didn't want to bankrupt you either, so.
You know, we appreciate
Started getting long, I pulled back a little bit, but we were out there at the critical times, so.
the project manager was, I believe his name was Hammer. And he was very easy to work with. We kept in constant contact with Mr. Schultz. And he had a few things he did want fixed. And so we took care of those things for him. After the job was finished, I reached back out. He's very pleased with how everything came out. Even his little well sitting on the whatever, the drainage hole or the manhole.
Johnson box.
But it even increased his yard, and he is now taking the time to water the grass, because he doesn't want to lose that grass at the city. So he's very pleased, and we made sure the communication was there all the way through.
I got the same thing from him. He was very happy. You know, I do want to mention, Peach State, they actually donated that junction box and installed the additional stick of pipe out there. Just because they wanted the project to look nice at the end. It didn't finish out quite as well as we wanted because of the utilities and the mud. It's just, it's underground.
It was interesting going through the whole process, because Aaron and I would speak regularly. And sitting here and hearing these numbers of, going to be a change order. And I'm like, how much? And this is one of those things that it just couldn't be helped until you opened it and you saw what was there. And that's why we have that money in those accounts, to be able to take care of the issues like this. It had to get done. It's a huge stormwater drain off area that leads to a big basin. And it had been sitting there for too long, affecting a citizen. And I'm thrilled with how it came out. I wish we didn't have to spend the extra money, but it's not as much as I was anticipating. And I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with their engineer and going through the financials and working the best that you could on our behalf.
Yeah, that's actually the reason we couldn't have it for the last meeting, is they wanted more time to go over and see how much they could trim on.
So this is a presentation. You will see this on the next consent agenda as soon as we get the invoicing. It is our goal to have all of these big projects paid for before the end of the fiscal year, so we can start out brand new. And so Aaron is going to be working on that. Unless it's already.
I would like to go to the last page.
There it is. There it is. Okay, so we will put this on the next consent agenda for next month, guys, so the next meeting, okay? Okay. Are there any questions for Aaron about that project?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Aaron. Okay.
Okay, so next we have a council vote for Churchland Grove variance request. If you don't mind talking about that for us.
Certainly. Mayor and council, we've had several opportunities to talk about this, and if you remember the work session, you had a very in-depth presentation from the contractor regarding the variance to do some alternate building materials, and also to be able to have taller windows. Planning Commission voted on April 17th to send it forward with a positive recommendation. At the public hearing on the 24th, there was a lot of good discussion, and they were able to kind of answer a lot of questions. So staff had earlier recommended approval because we felt like overall it met the relief they were asking for was not really anything above and beyond what, what should be expected, until you want to kind of get another chance to take those envisioned Walnut Grove ideas and adjust for ordinance. So unless there are any questions, we didn't see any reason why the council could not vote in favor of granting the variances. They also, that would all put there.
Thank you, Joe. I'll go ahead and ask for a motion on this, and please include in your motion those two changes if you are making a motion in favor.
I'll make a motion in favor of the variance request, for Church of the Grove case WGB 25-01. For the two items previously stated by Mr. Walker.
Is there a second?
That's good.
Okay, is there any discussion? All in favor of approving the motion, please raise your hand. We're gonna give Russ just a minute to dance. Okay. All right, and so that's good, all right.
So next we'll move to the vote on Stonehaven site plan approval, which once again, Mr. Wilson.
Mayor and council, Mr. Criswell had the good fortune of being able to present their ideas to you all at the work session, which was, for anyone who wasn't there, was quite lively meeting. I was wondering if you're gonna give Joe Morris the gavel. So, but there were a lot of questions answered about, once again, Stonehaven subdivision is a 92-acre piece off of Old Cannon Farm or Cannon Farm Road. They have submitted all their plans, gotten all their approvals to be able to be eligible for a permit for the subdivision construction, not building, and also for the construction of the amenity area, the site work on. So the last step in the process that this council established was a presentation to you all to get questions answered in anticipation of people in the community want to know what was going on, and also to make sure that they were following your process. So at the presentation on the 24th, there were a lot of good discussions, and unless there are any outstanding questions that were not answered at that meeting, I would request you all to vote in favor of approving the plans for the subdivision and also for the amenity area. And then I will, if council chooses to do that, then I'll work with the mayor and Joe to get the permit package letter assembled so they can get their permit start construction.
For the LDP.
For the LDPs only, just to make sure anybody was clear, this is just on the, and there's some additional, I'll say there's some additional safeguards in from previous subdivisions as far as them getting ahead of themselves on building in the community area. I know that was a concern with the enclave, but it's my understanding that they're going to go ahead and permit and start working on the community area parts of it. That was at the presentation. So there shouldn't be too many surprises unless they run into some unforeseen conditions out there.
Well, they need help at the beginning.
Yes, yeah, Mayor, we know all about the gate, and that was actually a very good discussion, so.
Ned did call me. He asked me if he needed to be here today. I said that the young man who was here presenting and informing us all about every single possibility on the page did an outstanding job, and it's a great sport. And everybody asked a lot of questions there, and I didn't know that there was a movement for him to be here today. So I just wanted to let you know he did contact us and asked us if he needed to be here. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to ask if there is a vote on Stonehaven site plan approval for the amenity package and the subdivision.
Make a motion that we approve the Stonehaven site plan as stated by Joe Cleveland, Lancaster, including the amenity area.
Is there a second? Any comments? All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay. And the last thing, ordinance 20, oh, right, look at you. Step back, go ahead.
Last piece of business. Ordinance 2023-03, Article XII for the sign ordinance for the city.
And what that is that was never signed off on. and it was voted on by council. And so it is just a matter of housekeeping tonight, and we'll be doing that in the other room, but we wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that, so that there are no surprises starting. And Tony, that is all we need to do today, right? Great. All right.
The next one, move on to new business. First item on new business is city council vote for ballot for 2025-2026 election of GMA's District 5.
We all went over that at the last meeting, at the work session. And the question is you sitting in favor of the nominees for positions of president, first vice president, second vice president, and third vice president? That would be Kurt Ward, the mayor of Brazelton, as president, Amanda Lewis, the mayor pro tem of Carlton, second vice president, John Howard, mayor of Monroe, third vice president, and then is the new person who has been offered up, Daniel Graves, the mayor of Elberton. And so I would ask for a motion from council whether to approve those nominees for positions or not.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Okay. Great. And we will move on. Thank you. I'm getting blank there. Do a motion.
Second item on new business is another presentation by Mr. Motley on the paving schedule.
It was more fun to present. Paving is sexy. Everybody likes nice black asphalt going down. Want to apologize. I did not have 11 by 17 paper, so it's very tiny. Got the monocles and zoom in. So I've driven all the roads in the city. Luckily, there's not that many. Got 10 miles of roadway, and a lot of them, overall, roads are in good shape. So I just, there's a lot of ways you can do this. We can get super technical and nerdy. I just gave each one a letter grade. It's easy to understand. We don't have that many to look at, so the worst one's Walnut Court. It needs to be totally taken up and redone. Everything else just needs some patching and resurfacing. I've got prices on here. It doesn't have to be all done today. This is your current need. So I've highlighted and estimated out the roads that I think should be a priority for you. I don't have a budget for what this should be. If you give me that, I'd be happy to recommend some areas. On the back, we've got the map. And I've highlighted again the roads that I recommend. And when we look at paving, we want to get the best bang for the buck. And there are different ways to do that. One is to group all the roads together. And so the closer the roads are, the better the price you're going to get, because they don't have to load up on a truck, drive across town, unload. They just move down the road to the next street. We want to stay as close as we can. The city is small, it's not that big a deal. And the other thing I look at is providing long-term relief. So I try to have a crack relief layer. If you just pave over what's there, every crack you see in the road today, you'll see again within 6 months. So we want something it's a barrier down there. There's different treatments we can use. I just call it crack relief on here. I specify different things depending on what we're getting the best prices from at that time, and the road itself. Some treatments are good for one road, they're not good for another. Some things we can use on curb and gutter sections, some things we can't. So this is a rough estimate, and look it over and discuss among yourselves. If you have any questions, I'm happy to fill that now. Otherwise, I can probably sit down with the mayor and Joe and kind of talk through the game plan moving forward. Are there any questions on this paving schedule?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Man,
Just curious, because I noticed Habersham and Forster Cemetery are up there, highlight there, and those two experienced all the equipment for the
yes.
other, the gas line, thank you. And so I'm just wondering, is that something that you're able to kind of see now? I mean, we feel it in our neighborhood, I know, the difference in the road, we can feel the difference. My neighbor has commented. So
I will say that
is
Fortress,
that something that's gonna get worse? And we'll put that, yes, is my question.
yes, Forester Cemetery it's got bad spots a long way. Some of that's from the gas work, some of it's just what it is. It's a wet road. It's in the half failure rate when you go down in the bottom and back up. That bottom area and everything leading down to it just traps a lot of water. Those are trouble areas, long-term construction exacerbates it. I think Harrison Circle, we can clearly see some damage, from the construction. Because it's all up front. You can see where they went. It's not severe, but it's there and it's gonna be a long-term problem for you. So I will say that, we've met with the gas company and talked to them.
There was some talk.
I don't think they're volunteering dollars this time, but
That's something we're gonna have to give over to Tony and Jay and let them follow up with it. And you have Aaron's letter. And I also wanted to tell you about Forester Cemetery Road. There's concern because Reliant is also building another home old back there across from where they're gonna be building a new subdivision for Walnut Road. And we shared when we met with Ned, I shared with him my concern with Forester Cemetery Road getting a lot of wear and tear. Apparently the county has also shared their concern with him about that. So we will work with the county and Aaron, Tony, to make sure that paving process, because the road really needs to be widened also, that we will do our best to see if there's something that this is a project everybody can work on moving forward. But I don't want to pave that. I don't think it makes sense to pave that until these projects are done back there. Because that's where they're accessing it. They're not going down 138 and 81 and then coming back up. They're going down 46.
it's those typically things we want to look at, open permits or expected permits.
Yeah.
And I did not look at anything like widening or anything like that.
That's about that.
That's a whole different animal.
Right.
Those get more expensive, especially on a road like Forester Cemetery, because you got narrow banks and ditches.
Some stormwater issues over there too.
There are, and also, I'll be honest, I'm not sure where to stop on Forester Cemetery, so I stopped this
Where's the city?
pretty close to the paving joint, from the gas, where they did their patch. But, the city has half the road and county has half the road beyond that. I don't know who has maintenance there. Give it to the county, I would.
We go down a little bit further.
Okay.
Past the sewer plant and then around the corner a little bit. And then
So you're maintaining all the way past the sewer plant? I don't have that in here. So I was hoping that part could be left out.
Well, it's the left side of the road, where, what is the name of that? Subdivision. Yeah, so that is the county road, Serenity Drive. So is that what you're saying, that we stop right there?
Let's say it's unincorporated,
And
right?
next time we go past the sewer plant.
So city limit on the map has it on the property line, not on the road. See that line is pretty common, and sometimes that portion's shared, sometimes where the cost is shared. Usually one entity or the other takes it. A lot of times it falls to the city, because the cities require or want more maintenance than the county.
And then we'll.
we'll just make sure we're in touch with the county and that when
Yeah.
they're gonna be doing it.
Don't play partner up.
Yeah, exactly. Get us on board and, yeah. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're not like jumping up and paving that, and then we've got underneath stuff that's gonna get worse, and we've wasted our time and money.
There's ways to fix that, so
Okay.
we don't pave over bad spots. We treat them.
We're not so unhappy that we can't wait. We want it right.
Yep, it's good thing, most of the road's pretty good, so.
Walnut Court, that road doesn't currently have curb and gutter, right?
No.
Okay.
barely has road.
Right. Or does this price include curb and gutter? Okay.
That is, milling up what's there and pitting back 2 inches. That's a minimal treatment. And we might want to look at something more heavy duty than that. It gets expensive fast, so.
Yeah.
This is pavement repairs. Also, any roads we want to look at, we probably want to look at stormwater in those areas. I can come in camera and see what we have. There's major stormwater issues, you want to fix that before you pave, and ideally.
Okay. Thank you, Aaron.
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, that's it for the bad news. Not really. Things that need to be done, you know, it's great. It's really great. Okay, payday. All right. 2025 fiscal budget. I do not have the fiscal budget to present to you. I want to let you all know that I may need to go ahead and schedule another meeting. I apologize for not having it available today for this plan the hands schedule, which you were kind enough to share with me. Thank you. As we learned today, as we're going through line items with our, one of our accountants, this is the first time that we have gone through, and it's a much more extensive project than anticipated. We're getting close. Joe and I are going to be meeting in the next few days to get things squared away. And then I feel like we will be on a much better page to be able to get a really good budget to you all, okay? So please bear with me. I'm sorry I don't have it today, but there's a little bit more extra work.
Just be mindful of the time for publication.
Yep, application.
For the public hearing.
weekend. Absolutely, will do.
It would be.
Will do. I have all your notes. It's very helpful, Maxine. Very helpful. So that is all for that, guys. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, next thing is Joe.
So to close out new business, we have a vote on the acceptance of soil from donation made by Walnut Grove Public Library. There's a memorandum inside of your packets, signed by myself and Ms. Seeger. It included 67 bags of pine nugget mulch, 87 bags of organic indoor potting soil, and 93 bags of organic raised bed soil. Also in the memorandum, you have the ordinance regarding the library's ability to donate that soil and also intake this from where they got it.
And whenever there is a donation to the city, council has to choose to accept it or not. And that's what we're doing tonight. We are voting on that. So without any further ado, is there a motion on the donation given to us by the Walnut Grove Public Library?
Yes, I will make a motion to approve and accept this donation of 67 bags and 87 bags and 93 bags. Absolutely.
Is there a second?
I do have a question, if I can ask a question.
Can we get a second first and then we'll get discussion? Thanks. Is there a second?
No second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Have we talked to Public Works to see can they actually use this stuff? Do they have a use for it?
So yes, I've had many conversations with Brian regarding these, and we do have areas where we can use it at City Hall. There are also further things we could do with it ourselves regarding if we want to keep it, if we want to donate it elsewhere, but there are things we can do in-house with it. Some of the soil will have to be mixed with fresh soil, as a lot of it is potting soil. But there's a lot of things.
Okay, just don't want to pile it up and have, just move it from here to here to here and never use it. Okay, that's good, yeah.
All in favor of accepting the donation from Walnut Grove Public Library? Raise your hands. It's unanimous. Thank you all. And thank you, Walnut Grove Public Library. And you definitely have a hope on the community and people for them
I'm
to.
just glad people reach out and we find places to put things instead of dumpsters.
Okay.
Next, we'll move on to our reports. So first we have Public Works.
You want to read those? Yeah, there.
So Public Works, their biggest thing that was on their agenda or on their report for us to discuss is the septic tank at the pavilion. It's having some issues. We did receive a quote for that, and I'm pretty sure that'll be on the next agenda for the work session. At the library, they pruned and trimmed the shrubs there, and they worked on the gutter repair or had that done. And then further, they're really trying to keep the grass mowed down and having a little bit of problems right now regarding the weather, but they're still getting out there every day to make sure it's done. Next, we have the report from the city clerk.
Hey, everyone. First, I'm gonna go over the citations and the rentals from the pavilion and ball field. Walton County citations, we had 8. Georgia State Patrol, we had 7. And pavilion rentals, we had 3, and ball field rentals, we had 24. Month of April. And then, the bank accounts, the general operating account is $651,797.60. The sewer service district account is $5,937.01. The 2019 SPOS is $1,188,336.52. The money market account is $1,486,803.79. The DDA account is $90,110.41. Then the new sewer money market account is $975,524.55. Then the LAS sewer plant expansion is $200,007.56. And the 2025 SPOS is $58,378.59.
Thank you.
So next will be code enforcement. We did not have a report from code enforcement this meeting, so we'll go ahead and move on to the mayor's report.
Okay, I don't have a ton. It's been really busy, but I'm looking forward to graduation. It's always fun to go and watch all the students graduate and listen to their speeches. It seems like every time you look around or you read a paper, we're either on the front of it or somewhere in it, which I'm thrilled about. There's also, anywhere you look, there's a groundbreaking or ribbon cutting going on throughout the county. It's really kind of exciting, and it feels nice to be a part of it. And it feels nice to be a part of it with you guys. I know the high school is the students are getting ready to graduate. They have a game going on right now where high school seniors can get into it, and it's a water fight type thing, and you can get shot at any time, and if you're shot a certain number of times, you're out. But it's nice to see that the students have coordinated that type of thing. They're having some fun before they get out of high school. There's lots of stuff going on. I am forever grateful for the council's wisdom in bringing on a city administrator and specifically bringing on Mr. Morris. And as I sit here and look at 2 of our employees, I am feeling very blessed to have such wonderful people who have just created a wonderful environment in the office, which has allowed me to kind of step back a little bit. And I'm really having no problem with it at all. And it's been enjoyable working with Joe and sharing with him the information that I have soaked in over the past year and 4 or 5 months. And being able to share that with him, and he's just soaking it up. So it's really great to have him on board. Thank you all for seeing the need of bringing someone on. We are no longer getting lumped together with the smaller cities of Good Hope and Jersey in between. When they talk about the big cities now, Walnut Grove is always included. And that's where we're going. And it's wonderful to see that we are preparing ourselves and we're preparing our city and getting things in place so that we can grow in a smart way. And that's really all I have today. Thanks, Joe.
The next, we're going into the town hall portion. So those of you that don't know, it allows you to speak to council without the camera on and kind of share your opinions and thoughts. If there's anybody that would like to do that.
Looking around.
You're really good out. Since last time. Next, we'll go into the council comments.
Maxine, you want to start us off tonight?
I can do it. Mainly I wanted to express how much I enjoyed the last meeting with the participation. I thought the students were excellent. I was very pleased. Quite frankly, watching their faces come up here, I didn't expect much. And man, they have dug in and I really enjoyed that.
I thought it was fantastic that, the idea came about to allow the young gentleman up here and, that was really cool. I've never seen another city do that. I was thankful to be able to attend the Board of Education, District Improvement Plan this week. And wow, we have some really intelligent people in Walton County, and I was just thankful to sit in the room and listen to their ideas. The educators and people at the board office and Walton County was there. Everybody shared ideas and it was fantastic and everybody was working together, which is really cool to see. And in the city of Walnut Grove, I'm just excited to see I've had so many conversations, about potential businesses coming into the city. And I am just overjoyed. It's so exciting. That's it.
Rachel? It is exciting. Plus, it's almost the end of the year, so I'm gonna wish everybody a super happy Mother's Day this Sunday. And also get ready for the summer, because I'm ready. I'll catch you at the pool or in here.
And Linda.
Would I like to ask everybody to remember our food drive that we're having at our library Saturday morning. Friends of the library will be there accepting donations. But we don't just accept donations at food drives. You can drop by any day with your donations. If you want to donate money, write it out to the library, give it to Dana, she'll give you a receipt. And Dana or somebody will go shopping. But so far, we've been able to keep the shelves full. Some days we have more people bring food than take it away. And some days it's the other way around, but the Girl Scouts that started it up, they've done a really good job. They keep working at it. We keep getting behind them and helping them out a little bit, but it's a wonderful thing. Nobody should be hungry or cold.
Thank you, Linda. I think we're ready to adjourn. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
A second.
Any discussion? You know, all in favor? All in favor. Okay, great. Thank you, everybody.
I don't know,